It is currently nearly 2:35, and I have got to be on my freaking way in about 2 hours. Right, Mr. Sam is off. Not forever, of course, but actually, I guess it doesn't really change anything. I'm still going to do workouts while we're over there. That'd be silly not to. Like, vacation does not mean, and by vacation I just mean any kind of trip anywhere, does not mean that the lifts cease, right? It's simply you get to lift at new gyms and get to see what all the fuss is about wherever you end up being. So I'll tell you about that tomorrow in the next video. I'm sure it'll surprise some of you. Definitely wouldn't expect to see me pop up over there. But no trips or no meet and greets or anything like that. This is a little family trip. But either way, so I got to hit chest quick, right? So I've got about an hour to allocate to the lift itself, including coming in, getting ready, getting started, and then leaving. I might even have to chill out and do no pose down. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that, right? That's the cherry on top. That's the sprinkles after a workout, which makes you get to say, okay, let's see where I'm at. Let's do a little current gauge of my progress. Whoa! Right, you're either bigger or you're leaner. Frankly, both are... Honestly, leaner is more impressive than bigger, I would say. Obviously, you have to be a certain size and then get lean so that the impressiveness of being lean is there, right? Because obviously, if somebody's just huge, but they got a good amount of softness on them, obviously you can still be a beast, kind of strongman aesthetics. But if you're a 160 pounder and then you get diced to like 150, I think you're missing out a little bit. So obviously, different strokes for different folks. Some guys like to be a bit leaner on the more just lighter side of things, especially any kind of distance runners. I mean, shit, man, it's a totally different vector. But I mean, there's no chance I could catch up with hell, I can catch up with just a regular dude running. I mean, I could be outran pretty easily, right? But it's like I'm putting all my stats into different areas, right? The size, strength, kind of leanness. Well, not leanness right now, but I guess the size and kind of strength side of things. Cardio, of course, does get an amount of points allocated to it, but enough for like a baseline, right? It's like give yourself 3 points of defense and then 5 of offense, just to make sure you can really throw the hammer down, But that, and then obviously some guys just like being fucking huge. I mean, I've seen just with the social media, you really get a glimpse. There's this one big ass dude. He's overhead pressing like 500 pounds. Like, not a perfectly strict overhead press, but I mean, the moving 500 pounds overhead like that in any capacity, absolutely insane, right? But of course, he's not going to give a shit about having abs because that's not the thing that he values, So try not to overlap what everyone kind of considers the thing to do with what you want to do, because I mean, if everybody's getting lean for summer, and you're thinking you want to put some size on, dude, the sooner you get it out of the way, the better. Because I see that a lot. I mean, I was just talking to a guy after yesterday's workout. We've been going to the same gym for a while. We just never talked, and he's like, yeah, it's a fear, not like a serious fear, but a minor, just like, oh, I don't want to get soft, man, right? Because if you're lean, if you're like an aesthetic lean upper 100 pounder, that's a good look. Frankly, you're getting close to where you just want to stay at indefinitely, But if you want to push the envelope just a touch, maybe do an off-season, maybe 6 months of a bit extra calories, get a little softer, and then diet back down. People don't. You're not going to think about that as though it's okay. All right. You're never thinking gains first. You're thinking okay, I'm going to be soft first, right? You're thinking, I'm going to get fat first. That's kind of our constant thought process. It's more so, what's it going to cost now versus what do you get later? We're going back to the freaking mentality of when did credit really come on the scene, was that like a 60s thing? I guess before any kind of economic blowback that we've seen, at least stateside, right? We're just not wired to think that way. It's okay. What's the fun part now that I can deal with later? What's fun I can do this second and save anything difficult for later? I don't want to do it. Right? That's a very easy approach. I mean, it's so fun. You get what you want and you don't have to pay for it right now. Nice. Right? That's classic. And the interest you pay with working out, to anybody that isn't into it, obviously we don't think of working out as work because we like it. It's not a chore, it's an activity. Plus, it's a freaking social hour, because if you go to the same gym enough, or you go to different gyms enough, you start to meet everybody and you get to have fun. Because you're not there for work, and it's not like just your regular family who you see all the time. Right? It's kind of a nice parallel play activity. Everybody's got the same goal and you all get to work on it together. Right? It's just a nice kind of camaraderie that gets built up. Crap, what the hell was I even just saying there? Working out. Yeah, but so for us, we don't think of working out like a chore. But for anyone who does, which once you start working out, that switch will flip and then you're going to start to like it. It's a little cultish. It's like, oh, look, man, it seems bad at first, but once you get into it, you're really going to love it. And you're never going to want to stop. I may as well make you sign something in blood. It's like, I'm going to get a pump. And then you sign your signature. Right? But I'm serious. I do think it's you start to like it. So if you know anybody who's like, they're gonna start to like it. Don't worry. But if that's their logic, if somebody's like, I don't want to deal with that, then that's all they're thinking about. They're just thinking about like, oh man, because they would want to be reasonably in shape. Maybe jacked even if you got that kind of itch, like you really want to put some muscle on your frame, right? I've said this a million times, if you gave anybody a freaking, golden shaker bottle, they give it a rub and then a genie of Ronnie Coleman pops out and he asks if you want to be, whatever, leaner, slightly bigger, whatever you just want to see change-wise to your body. Dude, everybody would say, yes, please, Ronnie, go for it. Make me jacked instantly. Boom. Everyone. Every single person in the world. And if they say they wouldn't, they're lying. Or they're trying to put up some kind of ruse or something. Oh, it's instantly jacked? Yeah, I'll pass. Instantly lose 100 pounds and get my, college build back again? Nah. Yeah, said no one ever. Right? So if that's the case, then right, everybody's got at least a baseline desire for, I don't want to say like peak physical performance. That's not what I'm saying. But just working out in general and just being more active than you are now. And I'm not talking about you, but like for anybody, I mean, it's only positives. The only negative is it's a little hard, right? It's a time allocation, so it's not like nothing, but it's such a small price to pay, And then before you know it, you're going to start to like doing it, So that's all I can say there, right? If you can get anybody interested in the gym who isn't already, dude, you're certainly doing some good work. That's all I can say there. So, playing for me? Oh, man, I don't know. My gym is a little further away, and I'm kind of in a time crunch. But if I go to my gym, then there's nobody there, and I can really speed up the workout. But all my machines are plate loaded. Let me think about it. We'll either... Yeah, crap, what do I do? What would you do if you were me? Yeah, okay, let's get one more lift at my gym. Let's get over there. All right. I think I want to change it up today because I've got a pretty strong habit of, warming up, obviously setting the cables, pressing, push downs, curls, shoulder rotations, make sure my rotator cuffs can handle what I'm about to throw at them. But I think let's start bottom up, right? So kind of just a decline converging cable press. And of course I'm going to squeeze, but I kind of, just doing the feeler reps, these feel pretty good, just kind of quick, pumpish. So this would be kind of light, you know, get a good amount of blood started and then go from there. So next would be something flat and then ease into something incline as a finisher. Maybe come back to a cable-based fly to really finish them off. But I think nothing else left to say except to actually make this shit happen. And this is about as heavy as I can manage actually even pulling down. Obviously, this is kind of a dangerous situation to have a ton of weight on. But no, this is about right. There we go. Get some Lincoln Park going. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. A few more of those. Maybe two. Make it a 3-3-3 kind of style workout today. Yeah. 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 Okay. One more. And then we'll move on. This was way better than I thought. Usually I'm kind of a declined hater, but this is a good squeeze. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. Woo. Yeah, that was good. Time for flies. I think flat flies, then incline press. Totally backwards from what I normally do. I think today is, I'm gonna chill on the pressing. I think heavy pressing definitely demands some respect in the sense that you shouldn't just load up as much as you can handle. Boom, drop it on yourself and try to bounce it out of the bottom. So the incline pressing sets will be a little more chill. But with this set of pec deck, I mean, even with the stack, it's still like manageable. There is a certain benefit to really pumping them out. And not even that, but just like going nuts, And sometimes for me, I just can't get that extra oomph if I'm doing a perfectly slow set, squeezing. If I get somebody like helping me with assisted reps, that's a little different. But if it's just me, I mean, you can kind of almost approach failure and then reach a point where you just, and then it just starts to move again, So do what you want, right? I'm here to show you what I do and what I think about what I do. So if you love a slow set with a 5-second hold and you've been making gains doing it, I've got no place to talk smack on you, right? But never write off anything training wise just because it might not agree with your doctrine. This isn't we're not freaking writing legal documents here. We're getting pumps and moving weight around and trying to grow. There's a lot of ways to do it. So let's go nuts here. Oh, I'm not done. I just gotta do a rest pause. Okay, one more. Okay. Oh, one more of those. Whew. Yeah, I can stand behind that set. That was good. Okay. Oh, one more. I lied. One more. Okay. Okay. All right, yeah. Shit. I might be done with just one set of incline press. We'll see. That's a good start or two movements, though. Yeah, I've been lacking on my fucking intensity. I'm starting to bring it back here. Let's get real. All right, only 3 plates, but after all those sets so far, I think this is good. Okay. I'm not done. Let's do 5s. All right. Yeah. 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 Okay. Oh, one more. Ooh. I thought I was going to be able to muster up the strength for that last one. That's a good feeling. Honestly, yeah, shit. One more and that's going to be good. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, let's pose down. Whew. That was good. Oh, yeah, that was good. That was good and quick, but not
quick in like a rushed way, just quick in like a high energy, good pace, like movement kind of way, you know? Because with some lifts, right, I do not want to be rushed. You know, I need some time to freaking rest, you know, between sets of freaking, any leg press, any squats, anything like that. Dude, that's not a 1 minute rest and then get ready for another one kind of workout. But something like this, you know, a little more focused towards those beginning lighter sets. Because, I mean, I think the damage, in a good way, was mainly done with that incline chest press, right? The converging one. Whereas all these sets beforehand, not so wild. Like definitely burning, definitely getting some extra blood flow in here. But not doing so much damage that puts me in like any serious level of like, oxygen debt, you know? So in between legs, nuts. A little bit more of a chill chest day. Every set wasn't like 500 pounds, whatever. Not that I can even do 500 pounds. It just makes a little more sense. But let's see what we look like. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was good. So, let's see. 318. Yeah, shit. I have got to go. But, honestly, I mean, what did I say? I left at like 2:30. I got here like 2:50. And it's only, what, 3... Yeah. It was like a half-hour lift. You know, and I really don't think that the intensity was, you know, close to below par, at least for me. So I can leave a happy camper. Let's get in the car. Okay, so you're currently at 8% battery. I forgot to swap them earlier. So if this totally freaking cuts out, you know, what are you gonna do? But yeah, I was about to say, one thing that you might not expect if you start getting big, and I don't mean big like, you know, like 100, like get to 190 from 160. I'm talking like if you're one of the characters who's just turning himself into a freaking muscle monolith, you know, more accurately, just a damn meatball, you're going to start sneezing like a fucking bazooka, or a freaking bazooka, sorry about that, all right? Because there's no, I mean, what's a sneeze? You get a big ass breath, and then your entire diaphragm, your abs, your everything just contracts to shoot out whatever your body is signaling you've got like stuck in your nasal cavity or whatever, so that it can, you know, fucking, you know, keep sneezing or keep breathing. I mean, so it's got, I mean, I'm like, I don't even want to hold my sneezes in anymore. I feel like I'm going to pop a blood vessel in my eye and look like I got in a damn street fight. You know, so honestly, if that ever happens, it's like 95% likelihood I sneeze too hard, 5% likelihood anything else. You know what I'm saying? I guess if you're, I've seen a couple guys where they have that happen. Like they're just prone to it from squats and leg presses or anything else. But it's, yeah, so I mean, I need a freaking handkerchief. Not to blow my nose or anything, but just to catch a sneeze. Because right now, pollen, shit, man, you got to invest in pollen. Honestly, it might be too late. It's already skyrocketed. Like even just in the car, and I've got like the internal air circulator on, and I'm sitting here just, you know, just fucking sniffling. At least that garage door doesn't open straight to grass. I might have to. It'll start getting better. Really, it only gets me bad at early spring, which, you know, seasonally is kind of right now. I feel like it's a little later than normal, but yeah, this is nice. Not excited to start cutting a lawn though, because then that really gets me. Like it's gotten better as I've gotten older, either I've gotten more resilient as an organism to pollen, or pollen has gotten less potent. Frankly, I think it's probably the former. But it used to be, I've told this story a couple times, I'd go outside and even just running around, and of course, you know, when I'm like a little kid, I'm running around in the grass and getting all my eyes and everything, just like, you know, squinting. I couldn't even see, my eyes were so swollen. And then it's, we'll see, I think I might need to get some Flonase on my way home. Maybe later. I'll save that for me in the future to deal with. But in terms of post-workout meal, not totally sure. Not totally freaking sure. I guess we will just have to see. I definitely want to make sure my hydration and at least a good amount of my carb intake is still, you know, up there at kind of peak performance, because I've got a long ass freaking flight, and that will throw off your game. Not if you're just, you know, not like as a regular person, but if you're bulking, dieting not so much, but just the change in pressure and everything else is very inflammatory. So, I mean, you'll just end up holding on to extra water. You just kind of, then you're sitting down for so long. It's like not a natural, like you're chilling. It's, well, either way, I got to make sure I've got some water bottles handy, because a long flight and any kind of travel is an easy ticket to basically dropping an instant 5 to 6 pounds of, you know, intramuscular water and carbs. And I want those in there. I don't need that going anywhere. I need to keep those tanks at full capacity, so I'm in my kind of peak situation to actually continue to grow and over recover from these workouts so that I make gains. That's the whole point. You know, I'm not lifting to maintain right now. These are not maintenance. Well, honestly, the workouts don't really change much from bulk to cut. I mean, obviously, you know, work within your strength level and don't hurt yourself. But the working out part's pretty stable. It's the diet outside of the gym that changes. And right now, I'm not in maintenance mode. You know, I'm trying to be in working my way up to like serious grow mode. So I don't, you know, you can't get away with that many days where you're just like, you know, moderate calorie intake. You're kind of tracking your calories a little. You hit your protein. Like, it's not going to work like that. You know, you really do have to kind of be on it, right? It's, you know, it's like a job that has a degree, right? That, you know, some you can get away with being, you know, kind of a lower 2 point something kind of average, whatever, and you're like, you're good, right? But you probably, if you want real results, you're not going to go to the C+ doctor. You know what I'm saying? So with what I'm trying to get at is, you can pass a class if you get a 70. But if you only diet 70% of the time, and then the other 30% you're totally off your game, that's not enough. That's not a passing percentage, right? You got to be up there probably closer to the range of like at least 90 at least. Because, like, I mean, I can diet really good for 9 days, and then if I have that 10th day where I just go absolutely nuts and eat 1,000,000 calories, dude, I'm screwed. I'm gonna totally overdo it, you know. Because let's say I'm in a 200 calorie deficit every day, or a 300 calorie deficit, or, you know, let's just say 3 for simplicity's sakes. That's over the course of 9 days, 320. That's 2,700 calories of deficit, which roughly should end up being something like a pound or so of fat. I think the math is like the amount of energy you have stored in a pound of body fat is like around 3,000 something calories. So obviously your body isn't so direct like that, but something along those lines, you know. So if I were to eat in a 300 calorie surplus or 300 calorie deficit for 9 days straight, I could lose close to about a pound, right? Something along those lines. So if on that 10th day, if I just eat 3,000 calories over my maintenance and have a crazy ass cheat day, my average across those 10 days is now baseline. You know, so I dieted really good for 9 days, and then I just filled back up and kind of blew it with that 10th. You know, you're not screwed, but the ratio has to be much larger than that. I'd say it's it would be hard for me to totally throw off a diet if I had a wild cheat day once a month. Like, if I was actually on my shit all month, no cheating, no nothing, I'm actually hitting my numbers and my deficit and my cardio and everything else, and then I still do my cardio on that cheat day, but I just eat a crazy amount of food, I think I could get away with one wild one every month. Definitely not for like actual prep lean, but like, just getting leaner, losing body fat, maybe once a month. Definitely once every 2 months. If you're seriously dieted and you diet straight for 59 days, you've been making steady fat loss progress, you're not going to undo that in one day. So if you're actually on your shit for 59 days, I think you can have one day and go nuts. I'm not saying you should do it, but if you're at your wit's end, it's like, dude, I'm starving, I'm going crazy, I don't know if I even want to keep dieting, you can get away with something like that, right? But don't forget, that's after almost 2 months straight of actually, doing everything perfectly right. So it's not a lot of room for discrepancy there. There's a little, but usually you give an inch, you take a mile. If you tell people there's a little, like, you can go, oh, I can have a crazy cheat day every couple days, I'm good. Not exactly. But I think I'm about to get cut off mid-sentence. I'm not even getting a battery percentage number now. I'm just seeing a battery low indicator. But that's my shtick, right? So what's 1 out of 60? 1.6% of the time? Yeah. So if you're on your shit 98.4% of the time, you're golden. And I can say that with 100% Sam Sulik guarantee. So I will see you wherever I end up. Put your guesses down below. Every so often I throw in that comment plug, but I wonder if anybody's going to guess right. Where is Sam going to be tomorrow? So I'll scan and see if I can find who answered correctly first. I'll give you a thumbs up.